everybody, Sebastian Keynes here with another Watcher Rooms video. Hey, look, finally, the Immortal Codex in its shape made it to the public server, and this is one thing that I was excited about because I wanted to try it with my main roster. I did have an opportunity to kind of try the 3 bosses out in the Forerunner servers, so I kind of knew what to expect for each boss and what we're going to need. But we came down here now to the Conqueror, and I started toying around with the different heroes that I have. And of course, if you go and then look at the leaderboard, you can kind of see which of these heroes is actually doing the best when it comes to conquering, no pun intended, the Conqueror. So Gon and Ardea are going to be staples in this. We're going to have the cultist heroes here in Cerberus and Aatrox that are going to be doing work as well, and Valkyra is also showing up big in this content. So a part of what I decided to do was to try to just try to bring and see if I could match something similar to what these heroes are offering and what I could do with the builds in trying to get the heroes. So kind of like a little bit of already a spoiler of what the heroes that I managed to kind of settle on to try to get as many of those, what do they call them here? Let me go to the redeem shop. These coins, the Immortal Sovereign coins. So to try to get as many of this so I can clean out as much of this shop as I can. And really what I'm looking for is to get this gear recast hammers. So as soon as it looks like hey, look at that, we can get all 3 of them. Guess what? I am getting all 3 of them because that's really what I wanted out of this whole thing. We still have 13 days, so I'll be able to clean this top row out, hopefully, and then we can get some of the stuff. The legendary crystal will come essential. Ancient summoning crystals will also come in handy when the time comes for that. Okay, so let me kind of give you an idea of, well, you can see what my best score has been so far, which is 1,031,000 about, and we are close to the SS. So I'm gonna keep working on this. I'm gonna keep, but I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of what I've been toying around with. Abomination has been surprisingly good for this content, and mine is awakened 3 times. So I don't have him fully awakened, but he has surprised me how good he is for this content. I even had him on my Forerunner server, but I couldn't really get him to pop as much as I did here. But I don't have any lords at the moment of trying to conquer this. And as you can see too, I'm bringing in Captain Reeve, and I'm actually bringing in Constance for the inspiration and the heal, just to kind of help us sustain that battle a little bit. I'm also bringing Scylla too. She's one of my best fighters in terms of the damage dealers. When I tried to do the comparison between Scylla and Arrogant, Scylla just won out, and at least in the same gear, same artifact, everything. It might be that my Arrogance is only awakened once, my Scylla is awakened 4 times, so that probably has a big play into it, but we know what type of damage Scylla can do, so that's phenomenal in this part, right? So this is kind of the 6 heroes that I picked, and I started turning around, trying to switch them around. I even tried Aatrox as well, and trying to rotate as much as possible just to see what I could get as the best score. So let me show you a run, and then I'm going to show you kind of the builds and my strategy in terms to try to sustain this a little bit. And so let me see if I can just auto fight this. I hope I haven't changed any gear, but it will become clear if I did. So what I decided to do was place Valkyrie here and Scylla right on the back. Now, Scylla is not within Constance's radius in terms of giving that inspiration, that extra attack, and I did try her in front here, and I tried in one couple of occasions right behind Captain Reeve to give her a little bit of protection from the waves. But the unfortunate part was that she would become she would die too early. So it wasn't until I put her in the back and I gave up that boost from Constance that I got her to stay alive a little bit longer and gave me a little bit more damage. So here I have Abomination up here, Constance, and we have Captain Rin, and I have Service right up front to try to deal damage to the beginning. And I have Captain Reeve facing inwards and Abomination facing down, so he can at least get 2 tiles of damage in. Constance is just right in the middle there. Doesn't really matter where you're going to point her, because she her nexus covers pretty much the whole area. And I think in one instance I did see Constance die, and then Valkyrie just Valkyra just brought her back up. So Captain Reeve here is going to go down. So that's kind of what we're gonna, that's kind of how much I've been pushing for this. It was 127, so it didn't improve on the original score that I had, but to be in the top 3%, I will take that for now, and I'll keep thinking around with it. We still have a couple of days before we switch. I imagine we go on to the next one. I don't know if we're gonna be able to fight this one alongside with this one, or we're just gonna do the best that we can out of the 3, but we do have time to try to improve on this. So that's pretty much what I have been able to form within the composition I've been able to form within the roster that I have, in trying to get the best optimal damage, especially when this is restricted to fighters and defenders. And you can use mages and marksmen and healers, unless you have constant, then you can get a little bit of healing. So let me show you the ideology and the builds behind behind each one of these heroes. So here's Captain Reeve. I didn't really go for I did kind of go for the tank, but I made sure that he had some damage built into him. So you can see a little bit above on the crit rate, but I tried to give him some attack speed, some crit damage here, and some attack with this the Soulbound Arcana gear that I did have in this account, so just to try to boost the damage. And then remember, they do get attack speed as the battle progresses, so I was shooting for the 200 to 275 to 200 range, because then you'll get the boost and it'll get you to 400, and I think that anything above 400 you start is diminishing returns, right? So that's why I kind of that's kind of the area that I was looking for. And artifact. What artifact did it draw? So I have never used the Goddess Grace artifact, so I don't have anything leveled when it comes to this. But the little bit here on the extra defense got him to sustain a little bit more, and for me, this increased his attack. And Constance, same thing. I just decided to put her on that same artifact, and she was able to sustain a little bit longer. She is in an Invergation set, and I did try to give her a little bit of attack for the inspiration, and you can see her health and defense. And this is stuff that I can probably still play around with, and I might give her a little bit more HP and see if I can get her to sustain a little bit longer. Right now, it's just an attack. Maybe if I try an HP amulet or a ring, switch this around, maybe I can get her to sustain a little bit longer, but I don't think that her sustaining is the key. I think the key is to try to get Captain Reeve and Abomination to sustain a little bit longer and bring those waves down a little bit more. And yeah, the Goddess Grace, yeah, that's the artifact that I picked for my Scylla 2. Of course, the artifacts of Wailing Skull, that's the one that she's been utilizing, and I do have her in an Inferno roll set. And then you can kind of see that she is really built more for the guild boss, but this has worked perfectly for the Codex. Valkyra, mine is awakened 5 times, so it does play a little bit of a role into that, but the one where I got her to work the best was the Realm Terror, because she does a little bit more damage, especially to units that are farther away. She's also in an Inferno set. As you can see, the stats are about the same. as the previous build. So, and she has a little bit more speed actually. So that's her build there. Abomination. So for Abomination, to get him to sustain a little bit longer, I gave him the Lunacy Visor. And this is, I only have one that is 1 out of 10, so I must have given the other one to another champ. So I'll show you that. But yeah, give him a little bit of a lifesteal effect so he can sustain a little bit longer. And again, I put him in an Inferno set, and as you can see, he has about 18,000 attack and 320 critical damage, 319 speed. And last but not least is Cerebus. In Cerebus, I also have him in an Inferno set, so this seemed to work better for me. I switched it around with the Soulbound Arcane that the other hero had. So we tried going back and forth trying to test this out. The Inferno seemed to work better for me, so given how hard it is, this is the one that I settled with. 17,000 attack, 294 critical damage, almost 100% crit rate, but not quite there. And to get him to sustain a lot longer, I gave him a Lunacy Visor artifact. That's why you saw his health kind of get replenished when he was doing damage, and he was able to actually sustain the battle a little bit longer. That's what that got me to get to the S+. So that's how I've been tackling the Conqueror. There's still some things that I can toy around with, so as we get closer to the weekend, I'll have a little bit more time to tinker around with it. But I just want to kind of give you an idea of how I've approached this content without having the major heroes that seem to be doing it for the top getters, which are Gun and Ardea. So these two seem to be integral to boost the damage up in this content. So, but right now, hey, top 3%. I'm going to take it for now. We'll see if we can keep pushing a little bit more. And I'm certainly going to try to get into the SS range before the event is over. So I'd like to thank you for tuning in and watching. If you do appreciate the content that I provided to you, please hit like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time on the next Watcher of Realms video.